feels to ever have enough time to play at all. You know, everybody wants to walk in someone else's shoes. Everyone's forgotten who they are.
All right, my other two buildings have come in. I've got them mocked up. This is Wild West Models Harvey's Hardware. It's about 3 inches wide by 4 or 5 inches deep, I think. Got some nice dormers up on the top. It's constructed well enough, I think it won't be too much of a challenge to build. And then down here on this end is Bantam Model Works Chillery's Cafe. And you can see I went ahead and put some checker players and old dogs sleeping there just for fun. But I've got those two mocked up. And so my entire town row scene there gonna look like that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep this building, which is the bakery. Can't recall what it's called, but it's got a nice big open bay, not open bay, but bay windows where you can see off inside. Same with the tobacco shop. I actually have a full scene to detail the inside of that. So I think that will still leave me with enough room to run a river back behind. So that's what I'm getting ready to get started on. Is I'm gonna figure out what the width of a road is gonna be in my time period, and I'm thinking 1940s, I think, is what I'm gonna go with, maybe 1945 to 1950, something like that. And figure out what the width of my road is gonna be and kind of see where that's gonna be in relationship to the houses. And I think I'm gonna cut the foam right here somewhere and then just remove this entire piece since it's not stuck down. I'm gonna remove that entire thing so I can work on it real easily. I'm also gonna get rid of the backdrop and probably go ahead and put in 1/8 inch masonite, so I'll know exactly how much room I've got to work with. But that's what I'm getting ready to get started on. Okay, so what I've done is I've removed this large piece of 1 inch foam, and I'm gonna replace it with a piece of 3/4 inch foam. So then I can go on top where the buildings are, the structures, with the 1 inch piece of foam that I cut out, which should give me about 3/4 inch lift if I'm thinking right. So I've got that removed. I'm just gonna build this up layer by layer and come back after I finish each little section. All right, I've got the piece of 3/4 inch pink foam put in. You can see I've got my river cut out. I've done a little work on the far bank, and not that anybody will ever actually see any of this, but I've also done some work in there. Viewing from this side of the layout, I wanted most of the river to be able to be seen, and there'll be some shrubberies in this area, but the main viewing that the scene that I want to create is the river and rocks in the river and things like that. So there's one layer complete. All right, I've got the next layer on. This is the road that I talked about. This is a scale 20 feet, and it turns and goes in between one structure, and then A and B feeders is right in here, and then the road, there might be enough room. I can continue with maybe a 10-foot road, a 1-lane road on down to the cattle pens, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. but that's the next layer. And the final layer, the town hill. It ends up being, I don't know, about 1/4 of an inch higher than the road level. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do there. The easiest thing to do, of course, would just be to go in with some skull mold and make a dirt hill. But I might mess around with some wood cribbing or cut stone or something like that. But there it is. That's the major accomplishments this weekend. My wife's on my back to fire up the grill and grill some hamburgers, so I'm afraid this is probably it for this weekend. I didn't get a lot done, but it is forward progression. I'm pretty happy with it.